It was not only an audio unit, but a video unit
I have
as well?
it here. He
Can I see
repaired
it?
the black wire, and then I went in the next morning, cut the red wire.
Sir, did you tell her that you were bugging her unit?
What?
Did
No.
you tell her
No.
that you were bugging her unit?
No.
Well, you can't do this, sir.
I know that.
Well, you can't do it. That's an invasion of her privacy.
For 25 years, Judge Judy Sheindlin was a cultural icon and one of the greatest television hosts America had ever seen. Her name became shorthand for no-nonsense justice, and her face was recognized in almost every home in America. Her catchphrases, "Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining," "Beauty fades, dumb is forever," became part of our language. And at its peak, the show Judge Judy pulled in more daily viewers than the Oprah Winfrey Show. But in 2021, after 25 seasons and over 6,000 episodes, the courtroom we all knew went dark. The show that had been a constant on our screens was over, and Judith Sheindlin, the force of nature at its center, seemed to just vanish from the spotlight. That sudden silence left a huge void. Millions of viewers were left asking the same question. What happened? Did the queen of the courtroom finally hang up her robe for good? So, what happened to Judge Judy, and what is she up to today? Let's find out. Before the million-dollar contracts, TV fame, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, there was Judith Blum, a girl born in Brooklyn in 1942. Her path to becoming one of the most well-known legal figures wasn't built on privilege. It was built on intelligence, persistence, and a refusal to be overlooked. Blum graduated from American University, then attended its law school where she was the only woman in a class of 126 students. At the time, the legal world was dominated by men. For Judy, it was just the beginning of many rooms where she was expected to stay silent, and instead made her voice heard. After earning her law degree in 1965, she briefly worked as a corporate lawyer for a cosmetics company. The job felt empty and disconnected from the real issues she wanted to address. And after 2 years on the job, she decided to leave and stay at home to raise her 2 children, Jamie and Adam. In 1972, a friend casually mentioned a job opening in New York's family court system, and Judy was like, "Say less." She took the job as a prosecutor, and that's where everything changed. She wasn't just pushing papers. She was in the trenches, facing real, gritty, heartbreaking cases. Juvenile crime, DV, and Child A. This wasn't TV drama. This was real life, and Judy was up for it. It was during this time that the Judge Judy we all know started to take shape. Sharp tongue, sharp mind, zero tolerance for nonsense. If you walked into her courtroom thinking you could lie, dodge blame, or waste her time, she would shut you down in seconds. And she didn't care who you were. She had a particular contempt for anyone who refused to take responsibility, especially when it came to kids. That was her soft spot. Or rather, the one place where she had no patience for excuses. By 1982, her tough but fair rep had made such waves that New York City's mayor at the time, Ed Koch, personally appointed her as a criminal court judge, and she didn't stop there. Eventually, she landed right where she belonged, on the family court bench, dealing with real people, real drama, and real stakes. 4 years later, she was promoted to supervising judge of Manhattan's family court, and just to put her grind in perspective, over the course of her career, she heard more than 20,000 cases. Now, while most judges were cool keeping things behind closed doors, Judy was like, "Nah, let the people in." She kicked off an open court policy, which meant the media and the public could actually watch the legal process play out in real time. It demystified the court system, and more importantly, it put Judy on the radar of people far beyond New York's legal scene. Because this wasn't some Hollywood courtroom with dramatic violins playing in the background. This was real life. These were real families, real crimes, real consequences. And through it all, Judge Judy brought the same energy that would one day make her famous: personal responsibility, or get out of my courtroom. She didn't do sugarcoating. She didn't make excuses. You came to her courtroom looking for sympathy, and she gave you facts. That energy caught attention, big attention. In 1993, she got profiled in the Los Angeles Times, and that article lit the match. Producers at 60 Minutes saw it, and they were like, "Who is this woman?" So they did a segment on her. And that's when things really popped off. The 60 Minutes piece turned her into a national sensation. People across America were obsessed with this 5'2" powerhouse who could destroy a defendant's argument with nothing but a glare. Folks had seen courtroom TV before, sure, but they'd never seen a real judge with this level of confidence, charisma, and absolutely zero tolerance for foolishness. TV producers saw the moment. They knew she was made for the screen. In 1995, a couple of them approached her with an idea. "How about your own show?" And Judy, being the boss that she is, said yes. She retired from the bench in 1996, and just like that, Judge Judy was born. Now, this show wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural reset. The show ran for 25 years, making Judge Judy not just a household name, but an icon. She didn't just redefine courtroom television, she owned it.
Judge Judy, everybody.
All right, so for 25 whole seasons, Judge Judy and CBS were basically the Beyoncé and Jay-Z of daytime television. Total power couple energy. The show was a certified ratings monster, pulling in 9 to 10 million viewers every single day. Like, think about that. Millions of people choosing to watch Judge Judy yell at people for being dumb instead of whatever else was on TV. And it paid off, literally. Sheindlin wasn't just the face of the show. She became the highest paid person on television, raking in a jaw-dropping $47 million a year. And it didn't stop there. In classic boss move fashion, Judy eventually sold the entire episode library, all those iconic eye rolls and "don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining" moments, to CBS for a rumored $100 million. That deal made her not just a star, but a media empire. At one point, a poll even found that Americans trusted Judge Judy more than the entire Supreme Court, like all 9 justices combined. That's how real her influence was. So yeah, by all appearances, this was a dream partnership. CBS and Judy were making money hand over fist. But plot twist, even dream marriages come with drama. Because behind the scenes, things were getting tense, and not over the show itself. That was still printing money. The tension was about power, control, and most importantly, respect. A major point of conflict came from a spin-off show Sheindlin created called Hot Bench. Judy launched this spin-off show in 2014, and it was another hit. 3 judges, 1 bench, lots of heated opinions. It worked. But CBS, which also distributed the show, allegedly started messing with it. And not in a small way. According to Judy, Hot Bench got bumped from its good time slots on some major CBS stations to make space for the Drew Barrymore show. Now listen, no shade to Drew. She's a national treasure. But Judge Judy did not take that move lightly. To her, it wasn't just a reshuffling of the lineup. It was disrespect, plain and simple. In a scathing interview with the Wall Street Journal, she didn't hold back. Her exact words, "You disrespected my creation, and you were wrong." Things got even messier over the valuable library of Judge Judy reruns. CBS bought out Sheindlin's ownership of them, which she saw as a sign that the network was more interested in her past than her future. She felt they thought they could just coast on reruns forever. To make matters worse, a series of ugly lawsuits followed. A talent agency sued CBS, claiming Sheindlin's massive salary was a trick to make the show look unprofitable on paper, cheating them out of their share. The case dragged on for years. While the court sided with Sheindlin in 2018, the legal battles left a bitter taste. The once great partnership was now bogged down in lawsuits and mistrust. It all came to a head in March 2020. On the Ellen DeGeneres Show,
every year is the best, but so that's your last year?
Well, I've had a 25-year-long marriage with CBS, and it's been successful. Next year will be our 25th season, silver anniversary. And CBS, I think, sort of felt they wanted to optimally utilize the repeats of my program because now they have 25 years of reruns. So what they decided to do was to sell.
Sheindlin announced that Judge Judy would end after its 25th season. She explained that CBS wanted to use its giant library of reruns, but she made it crystal clear she wasn't done. "I'm not tired," she announced, teasing that a new show was already in the works. The era of Judge Judy on broadcast TV was over, not with a quiet retirement party, but with a bold declaration of independence. She was leaving her home of 25 years, ready to prove that her brand of justice didn't need a legacy network to survive.
Go back there.
Use your words and be nice, Bert.
I'm trying.
Use your words and be nice.
I'm trying.
They're not, they're not court people.
Okay.
When word got out that Judge Judy was coming back with a brand new show, the internet exploded. Fans were hyped. After 25 seasons of sass, slams, and serving legal realness, people were ready to see the queen of the courtroom in action again. Everyone assumed it would be business as usual. Same Judy, same no-nonsense vibe, and of course, the same iconic bailiff by her side, Petrie Hawkins Byrd. You see, Byrd wasn't just some dude standing silently in the corner. For 2.5 decades, he was Judy's right-hand man, the calm to her storm, the classic straight face to every ridiculous case. If Judy was the fire, Byrd was the steady smoke rising behind her. They were a package deal, like peanut butter and jelly, or lawsuits and drama. You couldn't picture one without the other. So when the first promos for Judy Justice dropped in the fall of 2021, people were ready until they noticed something off. Where the hell was Byrd? That's right, he was gone. And standing in his place was a brand new bailiff named Kevin Rasco. And no disrespect to Kevin, but fans were not having it. The reactions were immediate. People weren't just surprised, they were offended. Like, did Judy seriously leave Byrd behind after all those years? And then came the real twist, because the truth hurt even more than the speculation. In an emotional interview, Byrd revealed that he was never even asked to be part of the new show. Let that sink in. 25 years at her side, and he found out about Judy Justice the same way we all did when Sheindlin announced it publicly. At the time, Byrd wasn't even thinking about TV. He was focused on something much bigger. His wife, Makita Bond Byrd, who was also a longtime producer on Judge Judy, had just undergone major brain surgery. Byrd was doing what real ones do, being a caretaker, staying by her side. When things finally calmed down, he reached out to Sheindlin himself. He asked about the new show and basically said, "Hey, is there a spot for me?" And according to Byrd, he was basically priced out of the project. The explanation left Byrd and the public stunned. He was curious how she knew, because she didn't even ask him or give him the opportunity to accept a lower salary. To a lot of people, this wasn't just a casting decision. It felt like a cold, calculated betrayal. I mean, 25 years of loyalty, standing beside Judy while the courtroom drama unfolded day after day. And then, not even a phone call? Yeah, fans were rightfully pissed. And Byrd? He kept it classy, but he was clearly hurt. In interviews, he admitted he was dismayed by the whole thing. And then came the line that really made people stop and go, "Wait, what?" He said that in all their years working together, he and Sheindlin had never once had lunch. Not one lunch in 25 years. No coffee runs. No, "You good?" texts. Nothing. It was a reminder that while their on-screen chemistry was iconic, off-screen, it wasn't the buddy-buddy relationship people assumed it was. Bird wasn't just her sidekick. He was a professional doing his job. And despite how close they seemed, they weren't friends. Judy's camp eventually broke their silence, releasing a super diplomatic statement. "Bird is terrific, and we had a great 25-year run. This is a whole new program with a whole new cast." But by then, the internet was already in flames. Fans weren't buying it. Justice for Bird was trending. The move was called everything from disrespectful to tone-deaf. And honestly, they had a point. Sheindlin clearly knew people wanted more of her, but she seriously underestimated how much people loved her bailiff. That Judge Judy magic wasn't just about sass and catchphrases, it was also about the calm, no-drama energy Bird brought to the bench. His absence hit like a gavel to the face. For the first time in what felt like forever, Judy misread the room, and she knew it. Eventually, she tried to make things right, but not in the way people were expecting. Instead of bringing Bird back to Judy Justice, she offered him a spot on a new spin-off called Tribunal Justice. It wasn't a full reunion, but it was something. A way to pull him back into her TV universe while still letting Judy Justice build its own identity with a fresh cast.
Cassandra Britt is standing in for bailiff Kevin Roscoe, and law clerk Alexi Mincer is sitting in for law clerk Sarah Rose. Brandon Sbriere is suing her ex-boyfriend, Christopher Kennard, for a truck title, tickets, and emotional distress.
Court come to order.
While all the drama was making headlines, Judith Sheindlin was quietly pulling off the biggest move of her career. She wasn't fading away. She was just getting started. In 2025, Judge Judy has successfully transformed from a broadcast TV legend into a full-blown streaming empress. First up was Judy Justice. It premiered on November 1st, 2021 on Amazon Freevee, which was then called IMDb TV. It was a brilliant move. Instead of fighting for space in the dying world of daytime syndication, she jumped straight to streaming, betting her loyal fans would follow, and they did. Judy Justice immediately became the #1 original program on the service. The show keeps the heart of what made Judge Judy great, her demand for the truth and her quick, no-nonsense rulings. But the format got a modern facelift. The old black robe was replaced with a burgundy one. The set is sleeker, and, most importantly, the cast grew. Joining the new bailiff, Kevin Roscoe, and a stenographer, Whitney Kumar, was a law clerk, Sarah Rose, Judge Judy's own granddaughter. Sarah, a graduate of Sheindlin's alma mater, New York Law School, is there to add research and a modern take on the cases. This generational dynamic has become a key part of the show. After each case, Judy and Sarah discuss the verdict, often showing how different generations think about fairness. The change has been a huge success. Judy Justice won the Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Legal Tucker Courtroom Program after its first season and won again in 2024. It proved the Sheindlin brand of justice is as strong as ever. Her streaming empire didn't stop there. In 2023, she launched Tribunal Justice on Amazon Freevee. This show features a panel of 3 judges, including her son, Adam Levy, who hear cases together. And who's the bailiff? None other than Petrie Hawkins Bird, bringing him officially back into the fold.
Still ferocious, witty. You don't seem to even miss a beat.
Well, I'm missing a couple of beats, but I'm glad you haven't noticed. I think that my message, the overall message, continues to resonate. I find it fascinating that the more I do this and the longer I've
Measuring Judith Sheindlin's legacy by ratings or her net worth just doesn't cut it. Her real impact is on our culture. For decades, she was America's moral compass. She held up a mirror and forced society to look at its own behavior. In a world of gray areas, she preached black and white accountability. She taught millions about basic contracts, the need for evidence, and the simple, powerful idea that you are responsible for your own actions. She became an icon not by playing a character, but by being 100% herself. When her 25-year run ended, everyone assumed she'd retire, but that just shows they never really understood her. Judith Sheindlin isn't defined by a job. She's defined by her drive. As she said herself, she only feels great when she's working. Retirement was never going to happen. Reinvention was the only way. Her move to streaming wasn't just smart business, it was a statement. In an industry obsessed with youth, an octogenarian judge proved she still had her finger on the pulse of the American audience. She didn't just adapt to the new media world, she conquered it. With Judy Justice, she proved her formula is timeless, winning over a new generation and grabbing more Emmys. She cleverly turned her brand into a family dynasty, bringing her granddaughter and son into her new TV universe. So, what happened to Judge Judy? Well, she got more powerful. She left the old network system behind and built her own empire. She stared down controversy, updated her format, and expanded her mission. She didn't fade into reruns. She launched a whole new golden age. In 2025, Judith Sheindlin isn't just a TV personality. She's the head of a media enterprise, a mentor to the next generation, and a powerful voice on what justice means in America. The gavel is still in her hand, the court is back in session, and the final verdict is clear. Judge Judy is nowhere near done. From the family courts of New York to the top of daytime TV, and now to the front lines of the streaming wars, Judge Judy's journey has been one of pure ambition and solid principle. She's proof that a clear voice can cut through any amount of noise, and she's a living example of her own best advice. Don't retire, rewire. What do you think of Judge Judy's incredible career pivot? Are you watching Judy Justice or Tribunal Justice? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the icons who shaped our culture. Thanks for watching.